EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Moore, the man in motion. They'll fake the give. Now Williams. That's complete. Odunze. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I'm sure after he called the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh, trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. First carry for DeAndre Swift. Push. Swift is hit, and he coughs it up. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll take this down to the 33.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll go play action here with Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Looking to throw is Williams. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bears! Odunze from 8 yards out. And the Bears are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
They go play action with Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 36 yards on the play.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Ravens are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw, it's Williams. He'll get this complete to the rookie first-round pick. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's Travis Homer, the former Miami Hurricane. Yeah, pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Play action. Now Williams. To the sideline and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. To throw, Williams. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, here's Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 33. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To the air, Williams. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Williams. This will be caught at about the 6. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
They'll look to throw for it with Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Caleb Williams, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have taken the lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Now a 2nd and 6. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. No gain on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Now 3rd down and 7. Jackson now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Here's Jackson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the 1st.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Over the middle, complete. That's Flowers. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. 2nd and 7 as they've got it as we resume action. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Jackson. There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown Ravens. From 19 yards away. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A pass complete to Odunze. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Pass incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 15. Throwing is Williams. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job. And Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
Big strides, look at him go. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Isaiah Likely, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Moore, the motion man right. On play action, here's Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. Moore, the motion man right. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Looking to throw. Williams. And he's got his man on the out route. Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This is 2nd and 8. Throwing again here, Williams. That pass complete to Moore. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And Swift is not going to get there as they stop him short of the yellow line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go. Here's Williams. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Now the point after try for Santos. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Here's Jackson to throw. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. In motion, the tight end. Looking to throw is Williams. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's a toss play right to Swift. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 19-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Once again, it's Swift. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Moore, the man in motion. Working out of the gun, Williams. This is caught. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Swift will take it in. Touchdown, Bears.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Santos with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Flowers going to go in motion right. Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the 21, here's second down and 7. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They go play action with Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Here's second and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh will send on the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Oh, some strong running. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And we are hitting the home stretch here toward halftime. And to this point, this has been an exciting offensive explosion for both sides.
I think everyone in the stadium is going to have to regroup a little bit, including the two of us. Yeah, I think we have to get a little oxygen, relax a little bit, and see what we can get going for the second half, the same as these teams, because right now everything's working really well. Can someone come up with something to slow them down?
Yeah, both defenses back on their heels. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
To throw, Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Odunze. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the gun, here's Williams. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's 3rd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Flowers going to go in motion right. Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Second and a couple. Here's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To throw is Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect, and that'll bring him back within a point. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Inside handoff, Henry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a 2nd and 2. In motion left goes a tight end. Henry again on 2nd down. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. On the option right is Jackson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
This is Homer. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
To throw, it's Williams. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Throwing is Williams. He'll look middle here and get it to Odunze. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On play action, here's Williams. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
To the air, Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift, a 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Jackson now. It's complete to Hopkins. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete once again to Hopkins. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Henry up the middle. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. In motion left, Flowers. Now Jackson. Now inside the 25. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the catch made by Hopkins. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And this one is right through, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Here's Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a give, right side, Swift. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. First down, and they go with Swift again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking to throw is Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll give him 8 that time. And now third down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
This offense so far on third down, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. And this is caught. He hits more. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Back to the running game with Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he will slide down with a good gain. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looks like you're exactly right. Looked like a 4 sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turned. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down, so you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go. Here's Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Swift. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that fourth.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the fourth. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation, and he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Odunze with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Throwing is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame woofing has turned into results.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Throw caught by Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Off the option, here's Henry. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the gun, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Now 2nd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play. And 3rd and 1 now.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there, and how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the gun, Jackson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's second down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw again is Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Montez Sweat able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Jackson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, so much for holding them to a field goal. The pressure they got home on the previous play didn't hear, and that bought their quarterback some time to find a receiver, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
Now 1st and goal. Throwing. Jackson. Fighting through pressure. Dancing to his... And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talent. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more. A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run out of the gun with Swift. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The Chicago offense set to get started. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. From the gun, here's Williams. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 8, 1:06 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Here's Jackson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Running left, it's Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Jackson. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
4th down, here's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.